Hey, what's up? It's Brezzo, and this is Uncharted 2 Crushing Difficulty and Treasure Walkthrough, Chapter 14, Tunnel Vision. So the 44 caliber is over there if you want it, but I chose not to do it. Now, there's a couple ways you can deal with the situation. Well, two to be exact. There's loud and there's quiet, so I prefer to start quiet. Get in position and pull this guy off. Now there's a couple sniper rifles up ahead. Pick them up first or pick them up last, but you're gonna have to pick them up. I choose to take these guys out with the assault rifle, just in case. Now come around and pick up the sniper rifle, and now we're gonna do some long distance sniping on a moving train. Now, unlike other video games where if you're on a train, like the train is static and it's just the backgrounds that are moving, but this train is actually moving, which makes the shooting a bit difficult, but it's only 3 guys, and I'm gonna end up dropping this thing in a few anyway. So you'll notice these guys are up here now, and the train signals are making their return, and it'll make pretty quick work of these guys if you don't want to. Now they're different than the signals that were before. They're always on the top, but they're either on the top left or on the top right. Before dealing with them, this is the first car you come up to, drop inside, and there's a treasure. So this is the second train chapter, and these are actually incredibly difficult because of how linear and how straight the path is through these train cars. And there's really no place to hide, and you can't move from cover to cover too well, and when there's just a steady stream of bullets coming at you from one direction, and that's the direction you need to go, things become quite hard. And when you jump into the next car, it's another just train shooting gallery. But it's gonna get a little tougher in a few. Now I picked up the pistol here because there's quite a few heavily armored soldiers up ahead, and it's just for them. But if you want to stick with the 92 FS or the Defender or whatever you had, be my guest. I just chose to go with this. Alright, now after I pick up this treasure over here, the level is going to open up. The train's going to go outside, and the level's going to become a lot more difficult because while you're moving from train car to train car, there's going to be enemies in the car, there's going to be enemies on the tops of the cars, and they're going to be just as agile and athletic around the cars as you are. So they'll be going from the top to the bottom and jumping in and out of the windows and shit. So for me, the best idea is to come along the tops, but don't go too far because guys can come from behind you. So try and see what you can do up top, but always clear out the inside of the car first. Now I ended up coming up here because this time this shotgun wielding guy actually jumped across. Normally they tend to just walk through the train cars, but this guy was actually surprisingly aggressive. So the reason I came up here was to get him. And since I was up here, I chose to take that guy out. Now, all the times I died, I never really came up this far. But it's a good idea to pick that guy off, but don't travel along the roofs. Travel along the inside of the car. There's more cover points, and that way you won't drop down like I actually ended up doing directly into a shotgun blast. Alright, so this is actually one of the hardest sequences of the whole chapter, because at the end of this car, there's two guys using some crates as cover, and there's no easy way to approach them. You just have to kind of wear them down until they die, which is a pain in the ass. Yeah, that took a ridiculously long time. Those guys are actually pretty tough. Alright, so if you're running low on ammo like I am, don't be afraid to die up at this sequence, because it'll give you a full round for your primary weapon and a full round for your secondary. Which I did, so now I have ammo. Now this big guy's gonna come out, so take out the little guy and wait until he's not firing, and then try and jump in between this car, these two trucks, and then jump up and head into cover here, and then you want to wait for him to stop firing and shoot those couplings right there, and then there he goes. And then this guy's gonna call in the chopper, the chopper, a helicopter, and we're going to deal with that, and that's gonna be part 2, so I'll see you there.